this is my trains. This is our biggest hub, so I figured this is where we'd show you guys. 6 stations, all coming off the track in basically one spot, right? The last station's not really hooked up yet. I'm just kind of doing things on an as-needed basis right now. That's kind of my style. So, all these trains basically let in from one track. This one track is actually 2 tracks that are joined together. All trains only go in one direction here, though. That's how you enter the stations. You can see the trains coming in. We currently have a total of 3 trains operating on the network, with just 2 of them coming here. And the front of the stations looks the exact same as this. So these tracks join onto one track that then splits into 2 tracks that feeds onto our main line, if you would, in one direction. Again, just in one direction here, right? So that keeps all the trains going in only one direction on the main track, as well as just doing that same one direction in the stations themselves. So if you take a look at the main track, it's pretty dead simple. Like I was saying earlier, it's kind of like a real train track, sort of, except much more dumbed down than that, much more dumbed down. But we have one track going one way, and the other track going the other way. And it's right-hand drive, because I figured that would be the least confusing. So this is how we do our entrances and exits for stations. We have the track leave and join through the middle. These tracks, just like our highway, are spaced on a 5-wide grid. So there's 3 blocks between them, and they each occupy their own block. And this leaves just enough space to turn off your track and get it going straight down. So that train did a really good demonstration of how that track is used. And this section of track on the other side just lets the train on, but going in the other direction. So if we go back over to the other side of the train stations, you'll notice the design principle is the same. This is how we do it for all of our stations. So this is the exit from this direction, and it goes down in and lets on to where I started showing you guys from, eh? So you can see how that works. Pretty simple, makes sense, hopefully. You guys can see that. See, it's always hard for me to tell. I like to be thorough, but I also don't know... Wow. Well. Don't know how, hard this is for some people to understand. I built it, so of course it's easy for me to understand. But hopefully this is easy for you guys to understand too, because that's kind of the point of these videos. Cool. So that's how the stations work, and then I'm sure you can imagine how the track works. Ideally, I want it to be at this spacing, because that's the only way I can get these entrances and exits working how I like. However, you will notice sometimes, due to certain constraints, where there's not stations, I will actually jam the tracks closer together. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into the railgun here, and I'm going to show you guys a large bird's eye view of the track system, which might hopefully just show it off a little bit more, give a little bit more explanation on how it all works. So up in the air we go. You can just see it all down there. There's one of those narrow spots I was talking about, squeezing through that tunnel. And then here we have a pretty simple T-junction. You know, it's just got each track gets split so they can go in all directions. So if you want to go out that way, you can go out that way where the coal station is. And if you want to go out this way, you can go out this way where the plastic and the rubber is. That's the idea with this system, so that from all points on the track, you can go in any direction you want, while always obeying the rule of right-hand drive. So it's just like a road or a highway or what have you. You know? Just the exact same. Well, we'll see one of our trains start to demo the track for you there. And then, yeah, that's basically it. So we have several more stations. Like, we have a station for coal pickup right over there for the aluminum. That's the factory we were just at. We have some rubber and plastic over that way. But all the stations are designed the same in principle there, with the same entrance and exit method, with the same everything. That's how they work. And same with all the T-junctions. That's how everything works. It works all on this system. So the idea for all the design behind this is this track just goes right alongside our highway that we use for our trucks. And we use our trains exclusively for high volume transport. So things like coal for aluminum, you need a ton per minute for that. Plastic for computers, a ton is required. We transport also raw ingots and raw quartz. But we don't transport things like AI limiters and whatnot. So all of our trains are 10 cars long, and all of our stations will receive 10 cars. Each train will just carry one item type, hence why aluminum had 6 stations, one for each item type. And that's basically how it works. It's pretty self-explanatory, I think, from there. So you just kind of build in the stations for what you need and attach them to the track like so. And it works like a dream. I haven't used it for that long. I've only really got 3 trains running on there with an average of like 1 freight car per train. Obviously, there are some points to where the trains will collide if their routes and schedules are similar enough, just like the trucks. They'll end up on a trail of conflict. However, the great thing about the trains is it matters not. They don't actually collide with each other. I have seen on one occasion rather recently the trains pulling switches on each other, which is really funny. I saw the rubber train send the plastic train down the rubber station by accident, which was super funny, but thanks to the design, the plastic train just simply exited the rubber station, did a U-turn, and went back into the plastic station totally fine, so just delayed it by a couple seconds. And, yeah, I really like it. Huge step up from my previous attempt at trains, which was just no system whatsoever. It was just random tracks all over the place. So, yeah, this works a lot nicer. It's very expandable. You can see, again, you know, same design principle with the way the track inlets. This just simply goes around a corner. It just is a little unfortunate the way the corner came up there. Maybe not even unfortunate, just different. And this is one of our plastic drop-off stations for the main base. Now, in the future, I plan on adding, maybe we bring some iron over here. So in order to bring iron over here, all I'm gonna have to do is just build out a few foundations. So 1 empty foundation for the belts. 1, 2, 3, 4 foundations for the station itself. Build all these foundations out long enough. Build the station in just right beside this one, exact. Like exact same position, everything. And then I just simply take this piece of track out and extend it. And it will then just turn into our new, for now, imaginary station. And there you go. That's the beauty of the system, is to expand things like that. Super easy. And then all I do is either add a train onto the network or simply add a stop onto its schedule. And that way all the trains share the same main highway. Oh yeah, check this out. Our plastic train's coming in. But they can all go to their individual stops. And it keeps the collisions to a minimum. As I stated before, it's still a possibility. But it does really minimalize the chances of it. And now I decided to design my trains 10 cars long. I don't know, I just decided 10 cars is a nice even number. Super high capacity. But you can make this your own in so many different ways, you know? You can take the same basic outline and customize it so many different ways. Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's just perfect. That's just perfect. We just have all of our containers unloading here. Ah, that's all the plastic for our computers. Now, it's a bit of an illusion, I'm afraid. There's not much per car, but you know, as we scale, it'll get bigger and bigger. So yeah, hopefully that's given you guys a good view into how the trains work.